Most of what once was the ancient realm of Egypt now rests under the shadow of hell and the stronghold of the servants of the Prince of Greed, who has long dreamed of plundering the whole continent of its riches. Beautiful Alexandria and even mighty Cairo have fallen, their ports serving as anchorage for the heretic fleet and mustering grounds for the heretic legions as they strike south and west. But thus far, Mamon's plans to completely sweep the northern coast of Africa all the way to Mali and Aksum has been frustrated. For this front is every bit as bitterly contested as the European theater of war. Here the heretic legions are opposed by a coalition of Nubia, Numidia, and the Solomonic Empire of Abyssinia, more commonly known as the Ethiopian Empire in Europe, that have thrown their lot together to resist the invader. Blood stains the waters of the Nile red as the coalition struggles to contain the grinding offensive of the legion of 10 golden horns that serve Mammon. The plan of the Prince of Greed is twofold: to overcome the holy church's Laibela and to desecrate and auction off the legendary relics within the churches and cathedrals of Aksum, and to claim the fabled gold mines of the Queen of Sheba for himself, which he covets beyond any treasure trove on earth. War has honed the soldiers of Ethiopia into masters of mobile warfare and taking the enemy on in loose formation, a style of fighting well suited to their rugged country where few roads do not allow for easy movement of large armies. Most levies fight armed with rifles, seeking to close in on the enemy to ensure the effectiveness of their volleys, while the Chua are the warrior elite, trained in hand-to-hand combat since childhood and encouraged to take on lions and other fierce predators as part of their upbringing. And warriors that have taken down a male lion single-handedly have the honor of wearing its mane as a headdress. Their famed war cry, "Together, together," is often the last thing the invaders hear. Claiming a direct lineage from the legendary Queen of Sheba and King Solomon, the emperors of Abyssinia are staunch members of the Faithful Alliance and a representative of the African continent in the Sword Congress of Vienna. It is a matter of pride and prestige to the House of Solomon that the tide to New Antioch is met punctually. So once in 7 years, the Negarit war drums sound the call to arms. The volunteers gather at Aksum, the spiritual capital of their nation, where the Ark of the Covenant is said to be kept under the watchful eyes of warrior monks who are born to their role and never leave their post. There is never any lack of warriors willing to join the expeditionary force to aid New Antioch. Adventure and rival status given to those who go to serve the Duke, and the chance to fight the enemy at their heartlands ensures that the bravest young soldiers compete for the chance to join the expeditionary force. Before being accepted into the expeditionary force, all volunteers to New Antioch must make a pilgrimage to Abuna Imata Guh, the chapel that rests on a mountainside at the dizzying height of some 8,500 feet, whatever that means. It is the most inaccessible place of worship in the world, and the volunteers must travel to receive the blessing from the shrine in the sky, carrying their full military kit and gear. Miraculously, there have been exceedingly few deaths caused by soldiers losing their footing and plummeting to their death. Each one of those who have fallen have been found to be a heretic infiltrator, and their broken and rotting bodies are left unburied as a warning to those traitors who would defile the sanctity of the shrine. Once the pilgrimage is done, the forces assemble and are laden with gold, silver, and precious stone, icons, and holy relics as gifts from the emperor to the duke. The warriors of the emperor march to the hidden ports of the coast that are still free of the enemy. There is no land route for the warriors of Ethiopia to reach the principality, and the heretic fleet dominates both the Eritrean Sea and the Red Sea, leaving the perilous crossing of the Mediterranean as the only viable option. Thus, there is the war on the waves of the Mediterranean as the faithful fleet clashes with the heretic dreadnoughts. Ships will be sunk, and the gold from the mines of the Queen of Sheba is lost to the sea. But when the songs and drums of the warriors of the Solomonic throne can be heard in the harbor and echoing of the famed walls of New Antioch, the citizens know that the aid has come once more. Fewer than 1 in 10 of the volunteers ever return to the rock-hewn churches of Laibela to give their thanks to their deliverance. The rest give their lives in the brutal battles in no man's land, like countless millions before them.